swear to your mother.
I love the pose. I love the enthusiasm that pose is bringing. Thank you for coming to Two Cool Moms. I am Joe Gatto.
I'm Steve Byrne.
And we are here momming it up. Momming it up. Oh, what happened? You were churning butter? I don't know. That was the jackhammer, like mix it to a pigeon. I love it.
Mumming it
I
up.
love the dance moves. Stevie,
Yes.
we're back. We're here. We have a tablecloth.
Really nice decor.
Yes.
Apparently you didn't like my shower curtains that I got last week.
So I asked Steve, do me a solid, buddy. I'm running a little late.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a blank table. Could you pick up something to cover the table with? He comes back with two completely see-through, light pastel, one pink, one blue shower curtains.
There was not many options.
You're in Manhattan. You're in Midtown Manhattan.
There was like CBS, but it's not like they have a Picnic R Us. Like there's just
Ooh,
like
that'd be a good store. You ever do
You'd love
picnics? You do picnics?
No.
I'm not a picnic guy. I can't sit like that long. I need a chair.
put it in a basket. Like
I'm wondering if I ever did a romantic gesture, like a picnic.
You've done. I'm sure you've.
I've
done
done romantic
something
gestures.
very
I've never
sweet,
done a
yeah.
picnic, which is odd for me because you think I'd want to travel with food.
Oh yeah, you. I mean, but you don't. Pastries.
Pastries for sure.
Your pastries.
I think the closest thing I came to a picnic was me and Murr used to do this thing in New York City in Bryant Park, Midtown Manhattan. They used to do this thing where they would do summer movie nights, and they would set up. They would show outdoor movies at Bryant Park,
You and Murr would.
me and Murr. So
Okay.
me and Murr would get something very much like this tablecloth. We would get like two big blankets, just me and Murr. We would have a basket of goodies.
Yeah.
And we would they unlocked the fields, like they dropped the caution tape and you could run out and you find your best spot and you would set up.
Tripping
and you would
kids.
and you would sit there and we would just set up and we would invite people to just come and join us. And me and Murr would throw movie night thing. And it ended up, we did it pretty consistently throughout the summers.
Wait, is this pre-Jokers or
Pre-Jokers. Pre-Jokers,
And
yeah.
you would just invite people to come and hang out
just
on
come and hang out
on your
On our-
tablecloth.
yeah,
or
we
your-
would have olive tapenade to share.
Really? Did people take you up?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, we did actually. I actually got one of my worst dates came out of that ever. I shared a blanket with a lady.
Yeah.
Very nice lady, and then we ended up going on the worst first date I've ever had in my life.
What happened?
I showed up.
Wait. Okay, so hold on. You met her. I showed up.
Jiggy's
But
here
you
too,
met
guys.
her-
Guys, Jiggy's back. We missed
Jiggy.
Jiggy. Hi, Jiggy.
But you met her at the thing?
Yes.
Okay, so you met her, you struck it up. This girl's kind of cute.
She had a friend. We were all talking, hanging out, and at the end, it was like, "Hey, so
You get a good vibe from her.
We should
and
hang
then-
out."
Okay, so then you actually it's weird because you had a great time with a complete stranger for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then you go on a date, and what happens?
Well, it was a group setting, and then you go to the one-on-one.
Right.
So we go to the one-on-one, and I get out the elevator of her building, and I'm walking towards the door, and she was waiting at the door, like, because I'm walking down the hall, and I see her, and she sees my face, and she goes, she goes, "You're wearing that?"
Oh no.
And like,
out of the gates?
20 feet from me, yells it down the hallway, and goes, "Oh," and then like goes in and has like the door lock on, like like the hotel, like she has it, the doors. Oh, and so I just come in. She's like, I have to change now. Because she had like a dress on or something, and I was like in jeans and a button up. I just had a jeans and a button up. Like, what are we doing? We're going to dinner. So we go, and then now I have to wait for her to change.
Right.
So I'm just sitting in her apartment, and like she's all flustered and whatnot. And I had brought her flowers, and like just like a little bouquet. And she was like, took the bouquet and just like filled a glass of water like this, and was like, "Thanks," and like dropped them in.
Jesus.
So we went to. She took me to
and out of the gates here, are you just thinking, oh my God?
No, I said, oh, okay, well, maybe she's just having an off moment. I'm not writing it off.
Sure, yeah.
So we ended up going to a restaurant, and the conversation at the restaurant was completely just bad. Like she was like a mean girl. She was like talking like bad about people. She was talking about how she doesn't like to sit next to fat people on airplanes because it's fat. She's telling this story about how this fat guy was spilling over on her seat. She's like, this fat man sat next to me. He was gross and he's spilling over on my seat. And I was like, you're so fat. She's like, I just tell people how it is. I was like, I told him to move his fat arm. And
I like this girl.
And I was like, and I was like, oh,
This girl's kind of awesome. You move your fucking fat arm.
So then she was like that, and I was like, oh, and then
Get your bingoing out of here, you fat fuck.
she went to the bathroom, I remember she went to the bathroom, and then the waiter came over, and he was like, "Would you like dessert?" And I was like, "No." And that's how you know it's a bad date.
Right,
I want
yeah.
out before dessert.
Yeah.
And I did turn down dessert, and I was like, "No, it's okay." So she came back, and
You
the
got it
check
to
was
go.
there, and I stopped on the way home. If I'm going to be honest with you, because we were in Little Italy, I stopped at Ferraris.
Of course
I
you
swear to
did.
God.
Yeah.
I stopped. I was like, because Joey don't go home without dessert. Nobody takes that from Joey.
This is how he do it.
So I went. I had the bill. And I would like sign the check as she came back. She goes, "Oh, we're not getting dessert." I said, "Oh no, we're not." And she goes, "Oh really?" She goes, "Oh, what's the matter? You didn't have a good time?" I said, "Honestly, no, it wasn't a good match." And I said, "But thanks. I hope you, take care."
I could see.
And that was it.
I think 90% of guys would write it out.
Best
but
part of the story.
You always do. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Best part of the story.
Yeah.
I drive her back to her place.
Right.
She asked me if I want to come up. I said, "No, thank you." And she's like, "Okay, fine." Then I leave. And as I'm driving, my cell phone rings, and it's her. And I'm driving, and she forgot her license dropped out of my car. Her license fell out in my seat from her purse when she was getting her key out or whatever. She's like, "Is my license on your floor?" Which now thinking back about it, I think she threw it on the floor.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's here." Now I'm on my way out the city. And she's like, "Oh, could you bring it back?" I'm like, "Sure." So I go around, bring it back. I'm sitting in traffic, whatever. So as I come by, I'm like, "Okay, what's the way to do this?" Because this is not a nice person. I've not had a good time. I'm inconvenienced at this point. So, yep. Window down, out the door, window down, slow down, toss it to her. And I yelled, "Deuces," and I drove away. Swear to God. And that was it.
Really?
That was it, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because on the phone, she was like, I was like, "Oh," I said, "Well, I'll be back in the city tomorrow." She's like, "I need it tonight." And I'm like, "Why? Like, are you going to buy alcohol?" Like, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "All right." I said, "I'll come back." And I drove around. Oh, and then I asked her to come down the block to meet me, so I had to go around. She's like, "That's a far walk. My heels hurt." Like that. And I was like, "Come on." So at that point, I was done with it. So I said, "What's the funniest choice that I could make right here?" It's like just roll down the window, just toss it to her. And I did that. And I rolled down the window. I slowed down and threw it down. I said, "Deuces." And she's like, "Thanks." And I drove away.
And that was the last time you saw Joy Behar.
That was it. Me and Joy never caught up since then. Yeah.
Was that your worst date in New York?
Hands down, worst date ever.
Really?
The only other bad date I had is a girl took me for Indian food, and that's not for me. I went for
I mean, that is
no offense. That's just not my type of food.
That's a roll of the dice.
So I had never had Indian food, and it was a really nice restaurant, and they bring over it was basically just plates of stuff you dip stuff in. It wasn't even like, it's like
Say that one more time.
It's like just stuff you dip stuff in, like
Stubbity dup.
stuff you duff in. You know what I mean? Like, you've had Indian food, right? It was like this weird, like just this weird tasting things.
Like naan.
What's that?
Naan, the bread.
I had none. I had none. There was nothing for me. I had none. I was like, "I'll take none." The guy's like, "You want none?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take more none. None's good for me."
Right.
I literally had bread for dinner. I had the naan. So they bring the naan, lots of naan for everybody, and like all these gross dipping buckets. Like,
What do you mean the gross dip? There's some good.
For me, no. For
Okay.
you, yeah. For other people, yeah. People love it. Not for me.
Okay.
So they had all these things, and I tried. Steve, I was
tried it.
trying, and you could see the disgust on my face. I couldn't hide it. And the girl was like, "Oh, do you not like Indian food?" And I was like, "I've never tried it." And I said, and the jury's back. No, I don't. I don't like it. So I had to sit there and just watch her eat Indian food as I was getting like a little. Like, I was like, "This is not the smells and everything," right? In a weird way. And I was like, "This is not for me." So that was the only other day. But I went on multiple dates with that girl, and it ended up being a nice time. We ended up seeing each other for a little while. But that was a one and done with the ID girl. Yeah. Owski.
Like the window just.
Gonski.
Fuck you.
You're wearing that? I
Oh,
looked good too. I
Jesus.
thought.
What did she change into? That was so different.
Jeans and like a top. She had like a sundress.
she had a dress on
A
and-
sundress, but not
You
like
can
a
still wear
gown.
that
You
out.
wear a sundress.
You could wear a sundress
A
out.
sundress for a guy with jeans. What a guy? I can't wear a sundress. Guys in a sundress doesn't make sense.
Well, these days you could.
You know what? I want yoga pants.
Excuse me.
I want to wear yoga pants.
Will you please
On a
invite
flight.
me out with you when you're wearing yoga pants?
When's the next time we're together? We should wear matching yoga pants on a flight.
I'm not wearing yoga pants.
Come on!
No. Hell no.
Steve, you would look good. You got
No.
a tight package
No.
there. You got a sweet little.
You need an ass when you wear
I
yoga
know,
pants.
yeah.
I
don't
as
either.
you know, my ass is like it's like a checkerboard.
Okay, why do I know? Why do you go as you know?
Last show,
did.
you do have a flat Asian ass. I was like, yeah, I do.
You threw it out at me.
It's awful. That's how you can always tell like a girl from their back, like the ethnicity. Whenever they're walking, it's like you see the black hair. It's like, oh, she's Asian because it's like z is nothing, just nothing. Yeah, it's like a level.
You go to the gym though.
I don't go to a gym.
Oh, you don't. You just walk around your neighborhood.
I do my jump rope and I do my walks in. I should do more crunches. Is that what you're saying?
No, you should do
Squats?
glutes. You should do some crunches. Don't help your booty.
No, I mean the wall squats or whatever.
A squat, yeah. You should do some squats. Let's get you a bump. Let's get Stevie a bump.
It's too late to get a bump. What am I gonna do with a bump?
Jess would love a bump. Rest a drink on it.
Jess has enough bump for the two. No, she knows. I've made jokes in my act about her.
She has enough ass for the both of you.
Rotund.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I would say Bessie's curvy. I would say Bessie's curvy. So am I though. We have different sided curves because she's like hippie and I'm like belly. So like it's like a full thing if you turn it.
Just all like
jar. It's like
the
urn.
silhouette. Just all like
it's like the Alfred Hitchcock.
That's hilarious. Have you ever, and I mean this, like, have you ever gone to a gym?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah,
What,
Vinny.
what do you do?
My brother-in-law took me and trained me for 3 weeks, and I threw up. I threw up in the. I threw up, and that was the last time we worked out together.
Wait, did you do it once or you
went for 3 weeks? Me and Vinny.
You peaked and then you booted. Were you on elliptical? Or
no, I was doing. He was making me do what's that thing where you don't move? Plank.
Oh,
he's making me do plank, sit up, push up, plank thing like a
you threw up?
thing like that. Yeah, so I planked too long. I walked the plank, and I went right to the bathroom, threw up, and then I came out and
couldn't take it.
And I said, "That's enough of this." And he said, "Well, we tried," and then we went.
When you don't like something, it's so apparent. Yeah. That's the one thing I respect. You don't beat around the bush. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting. Not for you. I'm out of here.
But there's a way to do that to be respectful to other people's opinions, though.
There is, but
because if people, I think Indian food's disgusting. I hate it. It's not for me. Yeah. People enjoy it and love it. Go ahead, eat it. It's fine. Like I'm not going to judge you.
But you will literally look at somebody. It's disgusting.
I do this.
And then you
I do push the dish away. People come over. I shoot the waiters straight too. The waiters come over. Are you enjoying everything? No, this is not good.
You do that quite often. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I do because if
when you like something,
when I like it, I love it. But then here's the thing about me. There's always multiple things on a menu that I like. So when I pick one, I'm like, I will be like, this is not good. I don't like this. Give me the other thing. Mm-hmm. I won't be like, oh, this place is no good. I'll be like, this dish is not for me. Right, I'll try something else. It doesn't come from a place of, excuse me.
And you'll wait. Yeah. You'll wait. You don't make a big thing about it. Yeah.
I'll insist to pay for it, and then I'll take it, and I'll just throw it out in front of people. I just go. I go over to the chef, and I just dump it in a nice way. I just dump it in the garbage.
In a nice way. What is your favorite restaurant here in the city?
Oh, I like a lot of places around. We just hit up a nice one the other day, me and you. Milo's next door. Milo's.
Yeah. Very nice.
Because we're in a shishi neighborhood now. Now we're in a shishi neighborhood. Up with being in part of the iHeart family here. We get shishi. Look at this. We don't have it.
My bubble machine.
But yeah, Milo's was pretty good, right? We had a good brunch there.
Fresh seafood. Awesome.
You know what I like about eating with you? You're different because you enjoy to eat like I do. No.
Is it because I pay?
You don't. Don't throw that at me because we fight about it all the time. All the time we fight about it. At least you add value. So
I'll take it.
So you and I, when we go out to eat, we enjoy the meal, and you're excited to eat a good meal.
Oh,
you match my energy.
Makes me happy.
I love that. You match my energy with that. When you go out to eat with other people, Jiggy. They just sit there and just annoyingly eat rice like one at a time, like with the slow chop, and then you can see it's like, oh.
No, my whole day is built around what am I going to eat today?
Yeah, for sure.
Like as soon as I got here, I'm like, okay,
where are we going?
I'm going to plow through this, and I cannot wait to eat lunch. Yeah. And then I'll take a little nap ski, and then I wake up, I do my sets tonight. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, okay, what
am I
pizza
going
place am I going to eat from? And I get so excited.
Gotta get the jowls going. Gotta get it going.
Yeah, gotta get it. Well, they're starting to depress again.
You're doing all right though. You're looking good. The hoodie helps.
It was getting bad.
Yeah. And no, it got bad. It wasn't getting. It got bad. And now you're getting better. And that's the way to think about it.
How bad did it get, Joe?
Your circumference was up. Steve, your circumference is showing.
No, I knew
you get a plate face. You get a round. You get a completely round because everything. Because you have good jawbones. Like you have good here, and your neck. This comes out a little bit, and you get like a circle face.
I look like North Korea propaganda, Kim Jong Un. Like my face gets like cherub.
Cartoony, yeah. You look like a Looney Tunes Asian back in 1940s, right?
I don't go that far. Oh, what are you talking about? Bugs? Not like that.
I did
With
not
the
do
fucking-
that. For the record,
Coke bottle glasses.
guys, I did not do that. Don't put that out there.
Bow. That's all, folks.
Oh man.
Shall we?
So let's dive in. Let's help
Shall
some
we
people.
indulge?
Thanks everybody. If you're new to Two Cool Moms, if you're new to Two Cool Moms, this is
Yeah.
what we do here. We help people. We take fan submissions. They give us their dilemmas. Steve and I do the best of our abilities to help solve problems.
Nobody better. Nobody more
So
qualified.
many better, but these are the people you're listening to.
Yes, yes. This is what you could afford. By the show's free. Okay, this is coming to us from Lauren.
Okay.
Hey, mommies. Love you guys. Saw you in Nashville. Great show at Zany's.
Great.
Live Two Cool Moms. A lot of
live
fun.
show.
I was just randomly laid off from my job with no warning. Have you all ever experienced that? Do you have any advice on how to bounce back? Thanks for bringing so much laughter in my life, Lauren. That was very sweet.
When did laid off turn into go from fired to laid off?
You don't say laid off? What is it now?
People say laid off, they don't say fired anymore. I got fired, I got laid off. You know? You don't really hear the word fired anymore. I guess Trump took that away from us.
What is laid off? Yeah, what would the technical...
Yeah,
like,
laid off. I mean, you got fired. It's the same thing, but I don't know how late.
Fired,
how you get from laid
I
off.
think you would have done something wrong. Laid off is like, hey, we're making redundancies
Oh,
here.
redundancies, layoffs.
Yeah,
got
so
it.
we gotta-
okay, maybe.
Cut corners and
Yeah,
sorry.
because you also
Sorry,
can't yell,
Bob, you
get
got
out.
the axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fired's like, security will be at your desk, and here's
you
a
can't
cardboard
yell.
box.
You're fired. Like you yell at somebody. Get it. What are you crazy? You're fired. You can't be like, what are you crazy? You're laid off. It doesn't have the same gusto.
Laid off is we'll get the door for you.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
got
your service.
laid off. I knew it was coming though. I didn't unexpectedly from my Accenture, my big consulting gig, my first job I had for 5 years here in the city, and it was after you have to get placed on projects.
Yeah.
That's the way consulting works. And I was living in Queens at the time, and they gave me one. They said, "We found this great project for you, but it's in New Jersey." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not going from Jersey to Jersey every day from Queens. That's ridiculous. It's going to take me forever to get there. The commute's going to be insane."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, but that's it's a big project. They want you on it." And I was like, "Nah." And they're like, "You can't say nah. Like that's your job. You have to go." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll find something else." Like, all right. And all the manager, all the
Wait,
partners
are you saying you'll find something else in the company?
in the company? Yeah.
They're like, we're the company, Joe. You're not
Because
finding
each
any.
partner ran their own project. So I reached out to all the partners and I was like, "Hey, does anybody have anything they can put
Right.
me on?" So I had to end up going to Jersey. And all the partners really liked me because, I just was funny. So I tried to get on these jobs. I couldn't get on one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "All right." So they're like, "All right, you have to take this job." And I was like, and the partner called me in, one of my friends there that I liked. And he was like, "Joe," he's like, "You have to take this job. We're going to have to lay you off." And I was like, "Just lay me off." Because I knew my heart wasn't in it anymore. And I was like,
Right,
I said, I'm going to be miserable. I don't want to do that. I'd rather try to find something else. He's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Give me a week. Let me try to find you something else." So he tried to find something else. He couldn't.
Well, that's nice. I mean, that was kind of your decision.
Yeah. So
Essentially.
it was like an
you were telling them.
elective layoff, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got a severance package, which was nice.
Well, that's good. Well, that's nice. Especially you quit,
Basically.
but you got a
I forced their hand.
That's a pretty crafty way of quitting.
Yeah,
you
for sure.
You turned it into a laid off with a severance.
It was a
package.
quitting. Yeah, it's a severance package.
It's some Jedi mind tricks.
Very nice. I did well.
I never had a real job, so I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah. And like the jobs I had, it was waiting tables, cooking.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was a party Friday. Fuck it, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I just quit. So I never I never got laid off. Although I worked at Caroline's Comedy Club here, and there was above Caroline's was Comedy Nation. It was like this comedy themed restaurant that was open for like a year. And I worked up there, and I was a host up there, and I would host downstairs at Caroline's. But Comedy Nation was like my main gig. And I remember 2 weeks before Christmas, they fired everybody.
Wow.
Upstairs. So ever since then,
Cole and everybody stocking.
When Caroline's closed down, I was like, fuck them.
Yeah, of course.
So
That's shitty.
I thought it was so bad. Yeah, she wanted to hire new kitchen staff.
Did they? Oh, not because they were closing the thing. She just fired everybody and hired new people?
Yep.
That is shitty.
Clean house.
Wow.
2 weeks before Christmas.
Oh, my goodness. I guess it's always a certain amount of weeks before Christmas. You'd be like, I got laid off 42 weeks before Christmas. This bitch fired me 46 weeks before Christmas. Like it's January. What are you talking about? So I would say if you got laid off, I mean, you got to try to turn everything into an opportunity. Right now, was that your passion? Was that your dream job? Probably not.
Right.
Let's go get it. Let's turn this you're fired into a you're hired to your dream job. That's what I would say.
Look at you.
That's what I would say. I would say look around. But it's a terrible market out there, so good luck to you. All right, well, he's not really hiring. Condoms in the toilet.
But yeah, I mean,
But hey, you know, maybe you could paint. Maybe you could, like, if you are an artisan, maybe you wanted to always passion. You had a passion.
yep,
You could do that.
yeah. While you're under a bridge because you still got to get a job.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
a job. Yeah, I would say. I mean, getting laid off does suck, but you know, every job. I mean, unless it's your dream job, which people throw that term around because I've had so many different careers. I've had like 5 or 6 different careers.
Sure.
Completely different careers, and I've taken away and enjoyed each of them in a different way. So I would say maybe it's just an opportunity for a new one. So now just try something new. Don't get stuck in what you're at. Maybe it's a chance to like, okay, I can't get hired here doing what I was doing.
Right.
Maybe make a turn and see, let me try this out.
And sometimes like those opportunities, like, you get hired in Montana. You're like, oh, maybe I'll move to Montana.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's like if
you're saying
if you got a blank slate, it's like
a straight reboot.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. Sure.
I mean, I did it with comedy. I moved from LA to Nashville, and that's completely like the opposite of what most people would do. But it was just like, yeah, I'll do it now. And I'm busier now than I've ever been when I lived in LA, which is crazy to think.
Isn't that?
But everything's changed so much. But if you've had 5 careers, what was the most fulfilling career you've had?
Oh, Jokers for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great to be able to bring comedy to the nation, heal a nation at a time it needed it most. Really a hero. I mean, without, if you think about it, thank goodness we were around for a decade. It's part of that train for a decade to help
I'll
out.
never forget when the towers went down and George Bush was on the megaphone. You guys were right there.
Right there in his ear.
The nation was like,
we had an earpiece in him.
thank God.
We had an earpiece in him and we were telling him what to say. I think, I mean, Joker, you can't compare to that. That thing was crazy. But I will say I did have fulfilling in each of my jobs. I mean, I got my family basically for my salesman job, right? Met Bessie through that.
Right.
I got my whole life through, my whole personal life came from that job. With Jokers, I got all these opportunities and careers, through the Accenture job that we were talking about. I definitely got like my people skills for sure. Consulting was all about dealing with people and working with that. And I also learned actually how to like run business stuff, websites and things of that nature. I learned a lot of business through that, so which I took forward with me in each one. And then, through this, I got you, Stevie.
There we go.
I mean, that's it. That's real. What more can I want through podcasting? I got Steve Byrne.
This is it. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, maybe.
Well, good luck to you, Lauren.
Yeah, I hope it pans out for you. And
of course, it's going to bounce.
It is. It's all about attitude and
exactly,
perspective, right?
It's not about the job. It's about what you make of it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's weird. By the way, does anybody give a shit about their jobs? Now, I mean, it's just like I can't tell you how many places you go into where just like they don't care.
Well, I think perspective has shifted since the world went through this whole pandemic thing. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are like realize that their job doesn't matter as much as it used to people. And I'm not even saying like you're talking about like bad service. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like quality of life. Like it's like everybody's like, the
what am
work
I doing
from
this
home,
for?
right? Yeah, exactly. What am I doing this for? Because the whole thing got shut off, and it was like, oh shit, what am I going to do here?
Right.
And then you put your energy into your family, into your friends, into your livelihood. And then it was like, oh, you have to go back to work. And I was like, wait, what about all that stuff that was so important to me for 2 years?
That's why Jiggy, like, he did comedy for years. But it's just like, I'm so glad he's like a chocolatier now. He's like, I'm following my true passion.
Jiggy, you'd be a great chocolatier.
I'd be in like the storefront window, like the Lindt chocolatiers, ribboning all the chocolate.
You would always go like this,
truffling it up. Yeah, but I will say, Jiggy had one of the most prolific turns during the pandemic. Jiggy took online comedy, made this whole thing with his Jiggy. What do you guys call it? No,
took classes.
He put on shows.
Oh, you did?
No, I did that Taste Funny cooking comedy show online.
And then
never heard of it. What is
it? You played it in Florida 2 weeks ago. So I think that did help some people who didn't really have a good career. Like Jiggy was like, what was he doing?
I was making chocolate in the basement.
Yeah, that was interesting with the. By the way, like when pandemic hit, people were like freaking out. Like, I loved every second of it.
You didn't have to put pants on.
It was the best.
Yeah, comfy pants.
Like literally, the whole world is not working. Like everybody.
Yeah.
It's just like, no one's going to work.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every beat. I would have loved if it went another year. I would have totally been on board.
Right.
The one thing I'll say is we zipped through our savings.
Yeah.
We had a nice little nest egg. I was like, oh, guys, I think we're good. And then pandemic hit, but like, you know, it sucked. But at the same time, it was like,
Try to take away
with the
something
kids,
from it.
watch
Yeah.
movies, popcorn.
Yeah.
And
Look, it wasn't a good experience overall for everybody, right? Or anybody if you think about it, because it did damage. But most of all, I think on a personal level, it helped people develop in a way that you didn't even think you would have to. You didn't even think that it would be possible, because you couldn't imagine, like, hey, you're not going to work for 2 years. Like, nobody
Right.
ever thought that without being like out of a job and trying to get hustle. It's like, hey, nobody's going to work for 2 years. Hey, the whole world's changing for 2 years.
Sure.
So you have to really realign. So.
But that's when I started plotting January 6th.
Yeah, and you did well.
And it worked.
You pulled it off. You did well.
I definitely I
Yeah.
think it was pretty successful.
Yeah, nobody could take that away from you
No,
as the mastermind behind January 6th.
it's all me. I still have Pelosi's. Okay, get to the next.
Goblet that she had on her drinking glass. You have her on Pelosi's glass.
By the way, did you ever see the video of her and her husband going up the stairs in their house?
No. What? Why do you have that video? Did you hack their Nest camera?
No, I'm not making this up. I don't know if you guys ever saw this video, but I saw it the other day. You know, I guess the reputation is like she enjoys her wine.
Oh, okay.
And her husband, I guess he got a DUI recently.
Oh, okay.
But I guess the word on the street is that they enjoy indulging, right?
Yeah. They had a
So
beverage
they're
to go.
going up these steps, and he's like trying to make it up, and she's like trying to make it. It just
Really?
looks like newborn fawns trying to get like when Bambi was on the ice. It looked like that. But finally, she goes up, and he like went up before her. And she's holding this glass of wine, and then she's like kind of to the top, and then you just see Paul Pelosi just shoot right back down, and she just turns around, she just goes back up. I was like, God damn, these guys party.
Oh, there you go.
Stairs
get in the way. That's really it.
So check that out if you get a chance. Here we go. This is Zoe. Hi, Tugo Mommies. Love you both. I listen to your podcast every day at work. It keeps me alive. I have 2 questions for you.
Way to rub it in, Zoe, that you have a job after we just covered that last thing.
Yeah, stop bragging. Okay, how would you deal with a toxic work environment? I'm 23, and every job I've had, I've ended up in a management or supervisor position. I'm great. Okay, relax. You're 23. You just chill out, Zoe. I'm grateful to be receiving decent pay, emphasis on decent.
Oh.
But everywhere I go, I deal with rude coworkers and attitude from fellow management or staff. Honestly, it makes me miserable. What's the best way to deal with this? Job hopping. I have learned never works. And here's a second question. Are y'all hiring? I'll do anything.
We don't want you to come and make this work environment toxic. We're good.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, I always have a toxic work environment. It's not my fault. Can I come work for you? I would say, well, you're 23, right? So your perspective on, you're still growing as a professional.
But I also think it's like everybody's toxic. Like that's what it seems like here. It's just like, I'm grateful for receiving, but everywhere I go, I deal with rude coworkers and attitude from fellow management or staff. It makes me miserable.
It might be time to look inward. Yeah. I mean, here's a rough truth coming at you, Zoe. It might be time to look a little bit inward. How are you dealing with, what is your relationship with, what's the persona you put on at work, right? Are you somebody that people want to work with? Or are you somebody that people just tolerate at work, or somebody that people don't like at work? Because it's a big thing. It's your contributing factor to your workplace environment, for sure. And people that don't think that are crazy.
Yeah.
Workplaces are toxic. Sure. I'm not talking about the extremes. I'm not talking about the extremes,
yeah.
But the extremes are the extremes. Most of the work, right? People don't like to work. People don't want to work, but they do what they have to do, right? So you're there doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
Try to make that experience as pleasant as you can is the only satisfaction you're getting out of going to this job.
Yeah, you can only do the best that you're ultimately in control of yourself and how you handle or communicate or respond to situations, right? And so, I mean, it must be kind of funny to be like in charge of people. Like, hey, Rick, I need this. Like that would just, I mean, I would laugh at that. It would make me laugh.
Come on. I got to make these copies. I would say it's important to remember, like, camaraderie is huge in a job.
Yeah.
And, you know, these people aren't going to be like, I've had so many work friends.
Yeah.
And at the time, it's like they felt like great best friends for life forever friends.
Sure.
And they're not. They're people that you work with, and they're great. And it makes the experience so much better. So I would say try to concentrate on, you know, just be nice, civil, polite to people at work, and then you'll get that in return, I feel, you know?
You hope to, right?
Yeah.
I remember when we were on the set of Sullivan and Son, Christine Ebersol, you know, 2-time Tony Award-winning actress, and we're doing a summer sitcom, and she would ask, like, on certain, at least once an episode, though, for sure, and usually at least once a day, she'd have a problem with something in the script, and she would have to work through it, right? And so other cast members are like, it's a sitcom. Who gives a shit? Let's just plow through this, right? But she was like, she'd have to get to the bottom of it, and she'd sit with the director, and we'd all kind of be sitting there. This is a cast of 9 people.
Yeah.
We're all just sitting around. And I learned when I'm like the lead, so I know if I yawn, it looks bad. I know if I get frustrated, it looks bad, and it just ripples down. So I always kind of like kept it up top and just been like, try to be cool, you know? And then one day, it just like a switch flipped. It was like, that's her process.
Yeah.
That's her process. She's not imposing it on anybody.
That's how she works.
It's just how she has to execute her job. And I have my process. My process is just give it to me. I'll memorize it. And I'll just bang out the line. And I just don't think too much about it, you know? And that's probably why she has 2 Tony Awards.
Yeah, how many Tonys have you won?
And I'm at iHeart Studio.
Without an award.
Without anything.
No, you don't even have a key card to get in here. You have to get let up.
Yeah. I learned you don't validate today. But it was like, okay, that's a process. And once I understood that, it helped me with everything after that. And it was just like, anytime I saw anybody just strategically doing their own thing, it was just like, all right, if it takes 10 minutes, if it takes an hour, it's like, all right, that's how they feel comfortable doing it, and they never impose it on you, and you don't impose it on them, and you just, you know, I'm not going to sit there and go, why don't you just read it and just do it?
Right. Yeah,
I mean?
duh.
It's like, yeah,
patience is key in a workplace, I think. So I would say to our friend Zoe here, you know, you have to be patient too. Like, you guys aren't going to be besties in each other's like wedding parties. Like, you know, it takes time to build relationships, and you know, you have to really get to know people outside their work too. So if you want to. It's all about how much effort you put into anything, as is everything in life. But if you want to, like, you want your workplace to be good, you have to put some energy into it. It can't just be like, we work together. Okay, we have to be. No, it's not. Like, you have to see how people's weekend was, and you know, things of that nature. You know,
I mean, I hate to make everything analogous to like being on a set or something, but I remember when I was getting ready to direct the opening act, which is available on iTunes for $1.99 on rental. But when I was getting ready to do it, I was just asking everybody that had done a film before, like, what's a piece of advice you give me? And Chris Rock was at the store one night. I was like, Chris, I'm about to direct this film. What would you say? He said,
hire a director.
He said, something to the effect of, take the time to get to know everybody on your crew. I go, okay. And I would think that goes without saying. He's like because there will be a situation in every one of those departments where something goes wrong, and you're going to need them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay. And what he said was right. I mean, every day something, no matter how well you plan anything, something's going to go to hell.
Yeah.
And you've got to rectify it and remedy it. And you're relying on these guys to kind of like figure it out, and you can be there to support it. But what I did was every day I made an effort to sit down with different departments and different people and spend my lunchtime with them and got to know them. And when this shit hit the fan, yeah, of course.
100%.
And I don't think you do it for like, you know, like you want to do something for good karma. It's like, you're doing it because also like you're getting to know them, which was very valuable and very nice too.
For sure. I mean, we made our crew family basically. You know, we got in there not just by saying like it made it fun, but we were doing a fun thing, of course. But it's hard work, and especially if it was more hard work for the crew because they were not in the part of like when it's time to make jokes. So like they're doing all the stupid, they're building all the stupid stuff. They're making sure the cameras, they're there hours before, it's there hours after. You know, and I would just do things like, you know, hang out till the truck was loaded a couple times a week. and
Right.
just, hang out and be there and, see how people do everything. And I'd also make suggestions about maybe ways we could do it a little bit quicker or better and things like that.
Sure.
But I would put the work in, and then more like when it came down to it and people weren't happy, they knew like, come talk to me and let's figure out a way to make you happy, especially when it came to money.
Right.
Because a lot of these people were newer into the scene, haven't negotiated their own things and whatnot. And, it was like, okay, let's get you where you need to be.
Sure.
Or get you on a path to be like, okay, this is what we're going to do to get you there. Be patient with it. Just so they felt heard. But I think it's important, I've always worked in a place, and even like one of my best friends in life, I met working the floor at Nordstrom's, DJ Justin Duran.
Sure.
He's my, one of my best friends. He is like, he started as a guy that I folded t-shirts with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now we're almost 15 years later.
And he's a bottom.
And he is. You mean he folds the pants? He folds pants now, and I fold shirts. But yeah, like he's one of the best dudes, and it just came from a work relationship.
Sure.
So you never know what's there.
Yeah. My point, Zoe, is maybe, when you see somebody having lunch, sit down with them.
You stop being less toxic.
Yeah.
Zoe.
It's about you, Zoe. We're not hiring. So get
Sorry.
over it. Okay, this is coming to us from Briley.
Ooh, that's
Briley.
a great name,
That's
Briley. Briley Auto
That's a
Parts.
very
Ow!
Briley is like, it sounds like a white country club, like Briley is swimming in the meet
yes.
this weekend.
Yes,
That's
yes.
a really white.
Briley, are you yachting this weekend? Of course I'm yachting. It's only 3 weekends left to Labor Day.
Briley, did you submit to Yale yet, or Harvard, or
Got accepted to both, going to neither.
What a name.
Oxford only.
Okay,
Briley.
how do I get jokes off the heart? Because I'm never able to.
Briley is not good at English.
No. How do I get jokes off the heart?
How do I get jokes off
does that even mean?
heart? Oh, you can go to the iHeartRadio app and you listen to our podcast. Is that what you meant?
I don't think so.
No.
How do I get jokes off the heart?
maybe
because
she
I'm never able
Okay,
to.
I think I get it. I think she means she takes them too hard too much, and like, how does she have a thicker skin?
I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, right. Is that right? I think that's how I'm interpreting it. So let's go with that.
Okay, Briley, there's easier ways to communicate this. I mean, who writes like this?
Briley does.
How do I get jokes off the heart? Because I'm never able to.
See, what? You're not operating on Briley's level though. Briley only uses the words she needs.
I'm a grown man.
Briley.
I read. I have no idea what this means. All right, you do it.
I'm gonna say you do it.
You do this one. I'm out of here.
All right, it's one cool mom.
Yeah, I'm checking out.
I would say if she's taking things to heart and she can't shake it, she gets hurt by people's words. That's what I'm saying.
Is that? Am I out of my mind?
Jiggy, what do you feel?
Is that what you guys think?
I thought you made. I
How
thought
do I
it
get
was a
jokes off
guy
the
first.
heart?
Then you said it was a girl.
Oh, is it a guy or a girl?
I thought you said Briley was swimming. He was swimming down by the lake.
Briley's a dude.
Okay,
Wait.
well, now I don't know.
Is it a
I
dude?
threw it in Google and it could be either, but
Okay, so let's say Briley.
Briley's a dude.
Okay, so him.
Yeah.
So listen. So Briley, let's just go with Bri. Briley is saying, I interpret that as they take jokes to heart and they can't shake it.
yeah, I think
I took it as how do I get jokes off the heart? Because I'm never able to.
Oh, I mean,
Like,
tell jokes?
that's what I thought.
tell jokes from the heart.
That's it. The room
Which
is
is
nodding
weird.
to that. The room is nodding to that, which is weird.
Yeah.
How do I tell jokes? Maybe they're asking two comedians how to tell jokes, and we have no answers.
How do I get
do
jokes
it!
off the heart?
How do I? All right, let's go with that one then.
You can't teach, like, you gotta,
I will say though, with practice, don't you think it works? Don't you think with
You get
I think
better at
jokes
it,
are
but-
a big percentage of jokes is delivery,
yeah.
being able to tell a joke, and that comes with practice, right? It's like anything.
Yes.
Still trying to make it happen. I saw you're going to beat you to it. I'm still working on it. Only been in the game for 42 years. Jerk.
I wasn't
You're going to say that. I saw it in your eyes.
wasn't
I saw that in your big dumb eyeballs. I saw
My
it.
cherub face.
Yeah, your big cherub
My
face.
fat face
Yeah,
again?
you
Yeah.
should be more angelic with a cherub face like yours, but you're not. You're a little devil. That's what I'm saying. Stevie Devils.
Give me the horn.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, okay, so both ways, I think. How do you get jokes off the heart? I would have interpreted it as you want to tell jokes.
So let's answer it your way, and I'll answer it my way. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
You answer your
Okay.
question. If that's the question, what's the answer?
I would say, yeah. I mean, make your friends laugh, goof off, have fun. They're your friends; they'll support you, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. I I think if you're looking at it like from a professional level, like there's always open mics.
Yeah.
Go try it out. You got nothing to lose. That's the great thing about trying it for the first time. And I think once you do it for the first time, it'll never get worse or harder than the first time. The first time you do it, it's just like it's so confusing and it goes by so quick and all these variables are shooting at you and you're just like you don't know how to take it, but
Right.
you're just chasing the laugh. If you get one, you're off to the races. That's it.
Okay. My interpretation
Okay.
was, how do I not take jokes to the heart and I get hurt by them? How do I have more of a thick skin?
I have a feeling Briley just fast forward to the part where you start talking.
I don't know. I would say, Bri, it's hard because words sting, words hurt, words cut deep.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you need to remember that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You big fucking idiot. I would say, but I love you, but you're a fucking jerk sometimes. I would say, Bri, it was a lesson I had to learn younger in life because I got quick fast.
Yep.
So I remember this very vividly. It was when I was like 13 years old and I had 14 years old, 15 years old maybe. And I had started being funny and I realized I was making people laugh at people instead of making people laugh with people.
Right, right.
And I could cut, I'm quick. And I just, I would just, if I got a giggle on making fun of someone, I would just dig deeper and harder. And I remember one guy, at the end, he was like, and he just came up to me and just looked me in the face. He goes, "You're not nice." And it just hit me. And I was like, oh shit. Like, but we were talking about, we're all laughing, but like, he's not. So now I always look to make sure that the person that you're talking about, which you do a good job on, you make sure, like when you're making fun of people, quote unquote, like you make sure they're laughing and have a good time because that's what we do. We want to make
the same lesson I had to deal. On stage, you take your lumps too.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's not how you do it.
Right. So I would say if you're getting, if it is hurtful and someone is hurting you, and it's coming from a friend, talk to the friend. Because they are your friend, and if they're making fun of you in a group, because that's what it was with me. I was with a group of friends. There's one guy we all picked on, and it was that. And no, it's not Murray. Murray's, a lovable loser, and he was totally game for it. And I actually treated my whole Murray relationship way different because of this relationship that I was dealing with in high school.
Right.
Although I did go to high school with Murray, it still wasn't Murray. But I would say, like, you need to remember that as, if you are getting hurt, empower yourself to not let yourself get hurt by people's jokes. And remember, if people are joking, words are just words. Sticks and stones might break my bones. But, at the end of the day, live a good life and fuck that person. That's what I would say, Steve.
Nailed it.
I also put it into Google.
Who are
and
you?
Google said it took that question, how to take jokes off the heart. It said how to stop taking jokes so seriously, and it has 11 steps with pictures. So I would say, Brierly, Google it.
Google it, Riley. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. So if this answer didn't happen, you got two cool moms and one cool search engine. So
Thank you, Jiggy GPT. Appreciate that. That was incredible insight, and thank you for not mentioning any of the 11 steps. You couldn't give us one.
I could have done. Oh well, let me.
We're out of time. Well, thanks so much for everybody.
listening to Two Cool Moms. We appreciate it. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff.
We love you.
Email us
Yes.
at twocoolmomspod@gmail.com.
Yes, or follow us on Instagram at @2coolmomspod. You can submit your questions there as well.
Ooh.
Stevie's dates are up for touring, right?
Yeah.
You're going all around at where do people find your tour dates?
Craigslist.
And people find mine on
Cannoli Productions.
Cannoli Productions, yeah.
Cannoli, is that right? Or
yeah.
no?
You go to joegattoofficial.com, but it's a redirect to cannoliproductions.com.
Got it. And my new special is on Punch Up Live.
That's right.
I have two specials, a crowd work and a stand-up special.
And also the live
Two
taping.
Cool Moms will be released on Punch Up Live very soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great. Thanks.
And Jiggy is always available for any quinceanera.
Decatur, not for comedy. Thanks, guys.
These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us, follow us on all social media, and subscribe to our YouTube.